Open your mind to decrease anxiety. I'm Dr. Trish Leigh. Let me tell you how. In this video, first we're going to talk about what a closed mind is and what it does to you. Secondly, we're going to talk about how you can open your mind and the difference in your brain when you have a closed mind versus an open mind. And then, of course, we're going to get to your brain tip strategy, how you can open your mind. All right, let's dig in. So a closed mind usually thinks of the future as an extension of the past. So you can think of it as a loop. It loops around, future comes from the past, and it usually skips over the present. So the idea is that it's always been that way, so it's always going to be that way. Skips right over the present and the control that you have in it, the power that you have in it to affect change. Always been that way, always will be. So let's think of an example of if you have a strained relationship with your parents or your partner. Now, I talk to people about their partner relationships all the time, and a common complaint or something that people do not enjoy is that they will say, I only have a few good days a month with my wife or with my partner. And a few good days a month is not a thrive open mind. That's a closed mind on one or both partners' parts. And if the future is going to be just like the past, then you're skipping over what you can do in the present. And it comes from dysfunctional interactional styles and lack of communication. And it might boil down to the need to increase emotional intelligence to be able to interact and communicate better. And we'll talk about that in just a minute. But it doesn't always have to be that way. And it actually was making me think of a totally awesome song, probably from the 80s, from Alice DJ. Do you think you're better off alone? Yeah, I know. My kids really don't like it when I sing in these videos, but there you have it. It's actually been redone by Trevor Daniel, and he has a song that says, I think I'm better off alone. And one of the lyrics in there is that he says something to the effect that he has fights that last 2 nights, 3 times a week. And in the song, he takes it from, do you think you're better off alone, to, I think I'm better off alone. And if you're having fights that last 2 nights, 3 times a week, you in fact might be better off alone, and you're definitely better off figuring out how to open your mind to create a new reality. So a closed mind keeps you stuck in a loop, and what it does is it wires and tires your brain. It makes your brain go into that extra fast speed of high beta, which then conks out into too much theta, and before you know it, you're stressed out, you're overwhelmed, and you check out. You no longer care to do the work in the present to affect future change. You're caught in the loop. This is what drives people into the screen and get hooked on internet activities to build seeming intimacy, so that they don't have to build real intimacy in the world, which requires vulnerability and a little bit of doubling down on better communication. Okay, so let's move forward to number 2. What is an open mind like? When you open your mind, you literally open it up to the possibility of change in the future. So just because things haven't been great in the past, you literally can take action steps this very second to affect that change and break the loop in the pattern. And being able to see the patterns is number 1. Secondly, being able to know what action steps to take. But if you have an opened mind and you think of everything that's happening in your life as opportunity, as I do, or I try to at least, you've heard me say it before, and I know I overuse the word, but it's because I overuse the concept myself. You have the opportunity to embrace this thing that's in your life, or this dynamic that needs to be changed, and to do something new in the present so that you can change it for the future. So going back to the example of this time, let's talk about if you haven't got along with your parents and your parents' emotional maturity is low and it's difficult for you to interact with them, so you find it strained. You can think about what's going on and you can approach your parents, and hopefully they can meet you in that journey and change with you. and you can grow your relationship up. That is the essence of what I think this journey here in humanity is for. And again, we'll get to that in a second. But you have the opportunity to look at the dynamics and change them. An open mind sees opportunity. So when you take those opportunities and you meet each other, you can move forward. Now we're going to move to number 3, your brain tip strategy for the day. To open your mind, you have to know who you are, who you truly are. And I've talked about the double mask of the ego. The first mask you put on and you go out into the world and you seemingly have your action together. Then when you get home, you flip the mask over and you become a puddle or a mess. And I'm not saying you, I'm saying us. This is the proverbial you. So when you do that, then you have this Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I got my stuff together, but actually I act out in all these ways at home. When you figure out who you are and what you stand for, and you can move through the world with certainty, and your perception of yourself is stable, then you're not rocked by these interactions and dynamics, and you can feel confident engaging with them and approaching them. That is what's necessary. You're able to say to your partner, I don't want to go on like this where we have 2 good days a month. What's the point? I want us to work on this together, and if we can't, let's figure out how to be friends and move forward, because life's too short to be stuck in this I think I'm better off alone, but here I stay attitude. But you have to know what you want. You have to know that you want a healthy, happy relationship that builds you, that helps you to thrive. And so then you can approach conflict in a healthy way, emotional maturity, to get to resolution and to break the pattern of the past becomes the future. You see what I'm saying? And I know that that is challenging, but I also know that it can be done because I do it on a daily basis with the hubs and with my beautiful children. I try to meet them in all the stuff that is wearing us down and become a new version of myself and help them become a new version of themselves. And then we grow together. So and that goes back to, what do you think your purpose is here? I already told you, I think this journey of humanity is one where I was meant to take every difficult opportunity to become a better version of myself, to help all the people in my world, including you, to be able to become the best version of themselves. That's what I think I am here for. So even though it's difficult and I don't always succeed, I'm not even pretending to always succeed the first time, but I'm always trying to get better at this. I am always trying to show up in those difficult moments and to love everybody unconditionally, try to see what the other people need and try to meet them in the interactions and dynamics as the best version of myself. I know my purpose. I'm certain of it. Yeah, sometimes it's wobbly, but I'm fully certain of what I'm here to do and who I am. And I'm able to show up with an open mind towards opportunity. So in this video, write down what you think your purpose is. So to find your purpose, you can look at your work. What part of your work gives to the world? Purpose is about contribution and sharing and connecting. It's not about what you get or that you take. It's about how you share. So in your work, what's the thing you share with people that connects you to them, which gives you purpose and makes you feel jazzed up? So the Hubs is a chiropractor, and he's always talking about when he adjusts people, how good they feel and how good that makes him feel. Clearly, I love making these videos to try to help you all train your brains and get them in the best spot. So think of your purpose. Think of your purpose in your relationships. Like if you only are enjoying being with your partner 2 days a month, like what's the purpose in that? I think my purpose in my relationship is to show up in the difficult times so that the Hubs and I are constantly growing together so that we can have a super awesome relationship across our life. And we have that right now. And not to say there's not hard times. We always show up in the hard times together so that we can have joy and peace with each other. So it's pretty cool. And the same thing with all my other people, my friends and my kids and all that. And in my hobbies, I use them to refuel my brain. Okay, so one more thing about this is that what I'm talking about here is stabilizing your perception of yourself with certainty. If your brain is stuck in high beta and is stuck in theta, you will have, I was going to say you can't, but you will have great difficulty in creating a stable, purposeful, loving, joyful, peaceful perception of yourself. So stabilizing your brain is number one. So if you're interested in the headband that I am a huge proponent of, an ambassador, the Muse headband, it is a tool that you can use to stabilize your brain performance pattern. It doesn't put anything in, it just teaches your brain to use that medium speed of calm focus and get you out of those extremes. And if you're looking for help on the journey, go on over to my website, drtrishleigh.com. I have a Brain Training 101 program, which is affordable and awesome. And even better, I have a Control Your Brain program that many people have taken and have really enjoyed. So I'm here for you if you want more support in this journey. Okay, and as always, control your brain or it'll control you.